Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
We, the people of India, have solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, political, and equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give ourselves this Constitution.
Hi students, welcome. Welcome to the massive open online course on glimpses of Indian social legislation and social welfare. First we can see what is this legislation means. Actually, legislation is an instrument to control, guide and restrain the behavior of the individuals and groups living in society. Legislation is a tool which acts as a directing mechanism because if individuals and groups left in absolute freedom, they may clash with each other in the pursuit of their self-interest at the cost of others. The clash thus created may cause grave harm to society, leading to chaos. We have several informal mechanisms like social norms, religion, tradition, etc. Social legislation is one of the formal social institutions which controls and directs individuals' action into a desirable channels. In a broad sense, all laws are social in character, but in a narrow sense, only those laws that are enacted for the purpose of social welfare are characterized as social legislation. As mentioned earlier, it is a social institution that embodies the social norms created on the initiative of a competent legislative agency. These laws are enacted keeping in view the needs of the time, circumstances of the nation and its socio-political ideals. Social legislation is that branch of law which is an aggregate of the laws relating to various socio-economic conditions of the people. Dr. Saxena defines social legislation as any act passed by the legislature or a decree issued by the government for the removal of social evils or for the improvement of the social conditions or with the aim to bring about social reform. Social legislation gives us a proper formalized legal framework for achieving welfare goals. It is a known fact that as social order undergoes changes, new problems and demands arise which has to be kept under control. For example, we face problems such as juvenile delinquency, new forms of crime, socio-economic injustice, socio-economic inequalities, problems of social security. These are to be tackled through welfare legislations. So, as per the need of the hour, we have to frame social legislations. It is important to have social legislation to meet the existing social needs and problems. It is also act as the direction for social change. Thus, social legislation is needed to ensure social justice, to bring about social reform, to promote social welfare, to bring about desired social change, to protect and promote the rights of socially and economically disadvantaged groups of the society. Our constitution provides the inspiration for the social legislation, and we have specific objectives for framing social legislations. We have specific objectives like removal of discrimination on the grounds of sex, religion, caste, class, etc. By avoiding this discrimination, we can promote equality within ourselves. The second objective is to safeguard the rights of the weaker section, once again such as women, children, elderly, widows, destitutes and the backward classes. The third thing is to eradicate the socially accepted traditional malpractices such as untouchability, dowry, child marriage, female infanticide, and the last one is to provide social security. In brief, the main aim of the social legislation is to change and reorganize the society by improving its social and economic condition, and each individual of the society has to be given equal rights and equal opportunities. Precisely, social legislation is to address social problems through legislative measures and initiate the process of social reform and social change based on the sound social rules. The welfare is the basis upon which the social legislation is built. The constitutional provisions are the governance to regulate the state in a systematic manner where the citizens are with peaceful social order. Hence, awareness on the constitution and social legislation can create sensitivity among the people for the better understanding of the society. First, we can see what we are having in the first unit. Indian constitution can be better understood with the information on the Indian social structure and the historical background in which the constitution was framed. In this course, the first unit explains the above aspects and creates the platform for learning about social legislation. The second unit delivers the information on the constitution. We discuss on the preamble, fundamental rights, duties, directive principles and why we all need this constitution to govern ourselves. The third unit discusses on constitutional provisions for the various vulnerable sections of the population, particularly women, children and disabled. The next important group which we have to address is scheduled sections of population. It is in the fourth unit. Even the cases that are being taken to the courts and which came out with a verdict in favor of scheduled castes are also discussed in this unit. New approaches are emerging in the social legislation like environment, education, human rights also want to be given importance. These information are provided in the fifth and the sixth unit. Social welfare is the activities that are initiated for the well-being of the society. United Nations define social welfare as an organized function, is regarded as a body of activities designed to enable individuals, families, groups and communities to cope with the social problems of changing conditions. Social welfare has a further function within the broad area of country's social development. In this larger sense, social welfare should play a major role in contributing to the effective mobilization and deployment of human and material resources of the country to deal successfully with the social requirements of change, thereby participating in nation building. These things are covered in the 7th unit, and various social welfare schemes related to different sections of population are also discussed. Social security refers to protection provided by the society to its member against providential mishaps over which a person has no control. The underlying philosophy of social security is that the state shall make itself responsible for ensuring a minimum standard of material welfare to all its citizens on a basis wide enough to cover all the main contingencies of life. In brief, social security is primarily an instrument of social and economic justice. Usually, social security is furnished to the citizens of India through two ways. They are social assistance and social insurance. In the last unit of this course, we can see brief note on various social security schemes that are being launched for different sections of people, starting from widows, old age, etc. The course is concluded with the assessment, which comprises of 40% of online or in-term assessment, 60% of end-term examination. Hope we all meet in the regular online sessions. Thank you.